Well, welcome everybody. I'm so excited this evening to share with you a very special guest. And for those of you that are not familiar, my name is Paul Fletcher, and I'm a certified master teacher and healer. And I've been very blessed to train with a profound teacher known as Dr. Master Sha. And this individual has been serving humanity for well over 30, 40 years now. And obviously became a very well-renowned teacher, healer, master, and more importantly, someone who can guide others to enlightenment. His very first student was a beautiful soul. I say a beautiful soul because I've come to meet this person. I've come to know this person personally. I wish I could say I've had hour-long conversations with him. I haven't had that blessing, but maybe one of these times. But in the variety of conversations we have had, I've come to know him as a very pure soul that is very dedicated to serve others. As one of the few people that actually walks the talk of enlightenment. And I wanted to interview him specifically for bringing to you, anybody that's new, unfamiliar with the enlightenment journey, what that path is like, what you can expect, and how you can navigate it, hopefully with greater ease. Because when you're one of the very first, what might be called a disciple of an enlightened person, then it might be a little bit of a tough trajectory. But this person has walked that path, and he has done an extraordinary job. I'm just going to read his bio to you real briefly. Peter Hudoba is a certified Grand Master teacher and practitioner. He's also a certified calligraphy teacher trained by Dr. and Master Sha. He's dedicated his life to serve others in humanity. His professional background includes university degrees as a previously highly successful neurosurgeon, teacher, and researcher. He's currently in charge of the Sha Institute, which he may share a little bit about, and its research projects. He's traveled worldwide and has taught at universities and many other locations about the nature, power, and significance of Tao healing and the enlightenment journey. So please help me welcome Peter Hudoba. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everyone. So happy to be here.
Yeah, it's great. I had an opportunity to chat with you a few minutes in advance of this, so I appreciate that time as well. We had a minor disconnection there in terms of how do we connect, but you're such a busy soul. By the way, how was that intro? Did I cover most of the bases?
Oh, yeah, absolutely perfect.
Good. Thank you. So we have some guests, and I'll invite everybody that's online to ask any questions that they might. Maybe we'll throw a question or two at you and see if there's anything that might be valuable for everyone to hear. But I'm going to go ahead and spend our time together and ask you some questions for that very new person that might even wonder, what exactly is enlightenment? I mean, for me personally, I had no clue. And I kind of laughed and scoffed at it for many, many years. Said, yeah, enlightenment, right? Like that's ever going to happen. And then I came across this teacher, which and it's actually a very real possibility. So give us a little insight. According to you, what exactly is enlightenment? And is it so far away or is it possible?
It is possible, definitely. When I was starting as a young boy, actually, I embarked on this when I was 10 years old. It looked so unreachable, something totally out of the world. And these Buddhas and saints, bodhisattvas and saints from different, realms, Sufi masters, these Taoist masters somewhere in the caves, and Sufi masters in the caves in the Turkey, that looks so absolutely awesome. And I was thinking, oh man, this can never happen. This is too big of goal. But I still gave it a shot, and because there was something in me to pulling me to it all my life. And guess what? It is possible. It is possible. If I did it, anyone can do it. I'm sure. So what it is? What is enlightenment? Enlightenment is actually a new awareness. It's like somebody changes us fundamentally. It's hard to explain. Well, probably the best, something which everybody will know is how to fall in love. You are meeting somebody either at work or a neighbor or on the parties with friends. That person is there and you all the time see that person, and it's just maybe nice guy or nice girl, and that's about it. But then suddenly there is a spark. Suddenly there is this chemistry, and bang, and suddenly you are total crash and unstoppable, and you don't know what to do about it. It's just that's it. I need to be with that person. I'm just crazy about that person. You have no idea how it happened. We can't make it happen. When it happens, we are lucky that it could happen to us. To be in deep love with someone, especially when it can go for a long, long, long time, is very special in our lives. So you understand, it's a change, like being in love. So suddenly you are different. Suddenly your outlook is different on the life, and the mind is very different. You can feel it, and that's it. It happened. You
And
are
it
there.
sounds like it's just as special as finding love as well.
That's right.
Wow, amazing. So on this journey, you said you started when you were 10 years old. I think most of us, start maybe a little later on in life, maybe around 30 or 40, we start waking up. What was it, if you could pinpoint any one particular life event or experience that said, you know what, I'm not buying into whatever is in my field. There's got to be something more, and I'm going to find it. What was that?
I remember it like today. I was around 10 years old or something, yeah. And we moved to a new place. My father built a house in the hill over the city in the vineyards. There was a vineyards region. In those days, there were maybe 3 houses on the entire road. Everything else were just vineyards. So I studied at the school that was down the hill, and I had to go home by foot. So about 1 kilometer. And so that day it was in the winter, and there was a huge snowfall. So by the time the school was over, it was already at least 1.5 foot on snow, fresh snow on the ground. So I was 10 years old. So it was almost to my knees. Yeah. And so I was wading through this snow, came home, nobody at home. So I put the fire in the stove, warm up the room, and made myself a linden tea. I love linden tea. It's a beautiful scent. And sat down at the desk, and I was opened the book. I was reading a book of my favorite author, and that was a book compilation of several different novels. And this one was about Christmas. So I sit down and turn the page, sip the tea. That fragrance filled the room, and it was absolutely quiet. When snow is falling down, that suddenly it is quiet. And nobody at home, parents still at work, and no neighbors, just total quiet. Quiet, and snow falling down, and I read this book, and then I sip the tea, and suddenly I went into a bliss. I went into a total stillness. Everything like froze. My mind just became totally empty and boundless, like nothing. Complete stillness.
Wow.
And bliss. You feel?
I can
Right
feel
now?
emptiness. Yeah, I can feel the emptiness.
Yeah, this stillness and quiet, it was so deep. I just didn't want to get out of there. I don't know how long I was like that. Time just stopped, so I have no clue. And then soon my parents came with my brother, and the noise. My brother started to run around, and he was a little child. And then my mom started to set up the dinner, and father went to listen to the news. The whole thing, the everyday routine. It was gone. I wanted it. So next day I come home, I do the whole thing again. Set up the stove, make the linden tea, read the book. Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolute nothing. Didn't happen. Then, that was painful. And then I try again and again. I drank liters and liters of the gallons of the linden tea. Nothing. I wanted it. I wanted it again and again and again. I had no clue what it was. Nobody could tell me, what it is. Who am I going to talk? Soon the Warsaw Pact tanks came to our country, and it was a crazy zoo. We had to go through. No, forget it. But I was trying to figure out how to get there. Yeah, and well, then I met Master Sha, and eventually I got there.
So about 35 years of drinking linden tea?
More.
More than that? That's a lot. You should have bought some stock in the linden tea company.
No, I tried different things. I made it. Eventually, I figured it out that I need to do some relaxation. Yeah, and I could find the books about it in my country. Even religion was forbidden, but relaxations, psychology, they did exist. So I did a Jacobson technique. I don't know if you heard of Jacobson.
No.
Yeah, he was a U.S. Psychiatrist, and he was actually developed the system how he was reducing anxiety of the pilots during Second World War. All these battleships when they were taking out sorties, they were scared.
Oh, sure.
Of course, yeah, they can be shot down anytime.
Yeah.
And so he was training them how to reduce anxiety, and that type of exercises I was trying, to calm down myself. And then I realized I need to do meditations. And so I went that way and tried this, that. Eventually I found Master Sha. Yeah.
Okay.
Here I am.
So in this, because I know some of your challenges, let us go to, if you are a person that's awakened, anybody out there, they're new, they're awakened, they know there's more than what they've been told. There's a spiritual journey, there's the opportunity or possibility of enlightenment. How will they know that they have reached enlightenment? How is a person supposed to know?
Well, it is the same way like falling in love. You can read books about it. You can listen to songs. You can read poems. You can watch movies. You can go to the shop, triple X, and all of these things. You still try to figure it out. You are not there.
Right.
When you get there, I am in love.
Okay, that's a good answer. I like it. You'll know it when you know it, and you won't be questioning at that point. Like, you're no longer searching, you will know it.
You will know it.
Beautiful. So in this journey, for that person that's new, some people recognize they may need a teacher. Some people say, well, I'm just going to keep going it on my own. What would your guidance be on that?
Well, Einstein gave a very good guidance to humanity. The problem cannot be resolved on the level of the problem.
Uh-huh.
When we are jumped in acrimony with one person, we can't find a solution. There has to be somebody who can look at the things from above perspective, from the higher perspective, and to see, okay, listen, you need to adjust this part, you need to adjust that part. Are you able to do it? You are able to do it also. Okay, so let's try now. And suddenly it works.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be somebody from above. So the same for me. I knew I am blocked. At some point, I stopped progressing. I I went into like a plateau. I just keep rehashing the same issues, the same approaches. It just didn't work. Because it were only my ideas for improvement, only my perspective, what needs to be done.
Mhm.
I had no idea what is about, next step, where I have to go for my next step, and how to get there. So for that, I needed a teacher.
Well,
That was one key point, and then there were many others. Yeah.
And again, I'm asking these questions from the perspective of somebody that knew, but how can someone discern or define a true or authentic teacher that can truly assist them to get to those next levels?
Great question. It's actually very easy. You know, anyone can have a sweet talking, anyone can glitter, they learn something, and then they can fool people around, and they learn some inspirational speeches, techniques, and then just go. And yes, definitely, that many people can do that. But there is one thing which cannot be faked. If you are next to the achieved true teacher, you suddenly feel very happy. You start to feel the presence of those enlightenment vibrations, that bliss. Maybe not very strong, but definitely you feel happiness. You are there. That cannot be faked. That person may not even open the mouth. You just sit there and suddenly you feel that happiness. You know, the same way we sometimes meet people and we right away resonate. When I met you first time, I knew this is a good guy because I could open my mouth. I could talk to you. And discussion was going on. We don't need to force it. It just flows because we resonate. There are people I sit down, I can't open my mouth because it's so heavy. I just can't. You have the same experience, yeah?
Yeah.
So that cannot be faked. That you just feel in your heart. The same with true teacher. You feel happy, and that's it.
That's a great guidance. It's really about trusting your knowingness, your feeling knowingness.
Yeah, the feeling in the heart. You just feel it by heart.
Yeah. Now, have you, in all of your years of training and teaching and being in a role as a master teacher, have you worked with people that reach certain pinnacles and get stuck? And what are some of the things that you shared with them to get them past that stuck point?
So it depends on situation. You know, sometimes people are stuck because they need tender loving care. So then you offer them tender loving care approach. Sometimes people are stuck because they have a big ego. They think that they are smartest, they are best, nobody needs to tell them, they know it all already. Well, they are stuck like crazy. Now they need to have a little different approach, yeah.
So you mean a little bit harder teaching?
Yeah, well, I always give my students the best. I do what they need, and I do what I need to do that very second or that very moment we have together to help them to go further. And occasionally, I had to be sharp, very occasionally, and I was.
Okay. Have you ever been on the other side of that, where you've been those things and had to be on the receiving side of those things?
Oh, I have Master Sha training me. I am very grateful for all kinds of teachings I have received.
Okay. Now, is it necessary or is it important? I mean, how do I phrase this the right way? Can a person reach enlightenment even with a teacher, but without the blessings of that teacher, without the upliftments or granted by that teacher?
It is possible. It depends how much advancement that person already done in the past,
Okay.
and not necessarily in this life. There are a few individuals, and it's well documented in the history, who were able to progress because they were already there. They just needed to repolish it. They had to come back to make it more firm or whatever. So they had to start from beginning. They went to enlightenment very quickly and in young age, and then they were able to proceed like this. So, for example, Yogananda was already very highly evolved when he was young child, and then met his teacher who just polished few rough edges and bong, and he was done. So it is possible, but those people are rare, and we know from the Asian texts they were rare.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We don't read about too many enlightened beings out there. Let me ask you this, Dr. Peter. So somebody that's truly, at least personal experience and from talking to others, somebody that's truly trying to get from where they're at to the next higher level and not be stuck in the various stuff that out there we can be stuck in. There's so many different things, and I've been there, so I can say these: the crystals, the astrology, the this, the that, right? There's all these different paths that all serve a purpose of hopefully moving us forward. But if someone is truly on that journey, is willing to shift as needs to be shifted, very often, in my observation, they struggle. They're in a lot of physical pain. They're in emotional pain. They're in mind pain. Their family members, people like that, don't really understand them, maybe put them down. They're the black sheep. So they're kind of alone. There's a lot of people that fit that alone category. So how do you assist somebody like that to get through and pass this form of spiritual testing, or whatever verbiage you'd like to use?
You see, Paul, it's like this. All of what you mentioned has a value. Everyone has to go through the stages. And on these stages, we meet teachers. And all those teachers are valuable. When you are in daycare, you cannot learn algebra, high math. You can't. In the daycare, you are learning how to line up, how to tie your bed. You learn how to be polite to others, and you have your biscuit and glass of milk, and then how to say thank you, wash your hands when you are after toilet. So you are learning this level. And you need a teacher who can deliver it to you in the right way, so you can keep these habits for the rest of your life. That's very useful, but you can't learn more than that. Then you go to first grade, second grade, so you are learning ABC. You are not learning how to be neurosurgeon. You are learning ABC. And do we need to know ABC? Well, we need to, because every neurosurgeon had to learn ABC and had to learn then anatomy and physiology, pass the exams, to get to that level. So we need primary school teachers, of course we need. And so at every level, your teacher is the one which is right for that level to deliver you what you need to learn at that level, so you can go to the next level. It's absolutely important. So I may not be the right teacher for everyone, because they are at the level they like to have their polished rocks. Well, I have my polished rocks also. I have the whole bag, and I was putting them on my chakra, and I was trying to reach enlightenment that way. Sure, I've been there, I've done that, but it didn't work. So then I moved on. And so, you know what I mean? So eventually it is that you are ready for that step. And when you resonate with that teacher, then you know this is a guy or this is a girl. I want to try, I want to learn, I want to see what they do, and just come. And maybe you will find inspiration. Yes, this is what I want. And maybe it may be still too much, or maybe you are even beyond that. You need somebody even better. So
I think it's important that the person keeps their mind open to that, where whomever they're working with at that moment, may have reached the level that they can provide for them. Some people get comfortable there, and they don't really open their heart to recognizing there might be another teacher waiting for them. Do you ever see that?
Oh, you can learn from anyone. I remember 2002, I went to Washington, D.C. There was a very special doctor who was sick. I don't know, Doctor Who, Doctor Who are you, that song?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that person, I met him, and I went to Master Sha asked me, so I went to meditate with him to help him out. And so we established the group, and he called his buddies, and they were all Wall Street venture capitalists.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this fat guy like that, very rich. I mean, the business banker. I mean, one of the top guys in Washington. And he had this cigar. And we are meditating, and then during the break, they asked him, so what stock? Can you tell me? They were starting to milk him. And the best way to invest is when there is a blood on the street. Wow. That is an advice. I didn't come to have the investment course, but this guy gave me the advice of the lifetime, and so you can learn from anybody. Just about anybody. How many good things I learned in the airplane? I talk to people and they just speak, and then suddenly, this is great. This I never knew. This is good. So that's how it is.
These are wonderful answers. Let me ask you another. Is it okay? Are we okay with timing?
Yeah, we still can go a few minutes. Yes.
Okay. I will move towards wrap up here. The vast majority of us are not enlightened. We are not in a space where it doesn't matter what it is; it just rolls off our back. We're dealing with life stressors. Money, relationship, you name it. We are all swimming in it. So how do you, or how can somebody give us a real world example of how they can receive life as it's coming to them, like an enlightened person, and actually employ it so that they can start applying some of these tools and wisdoms in their life today? What would you suggest?
The approach I have learned from Master Sha is very practical. And enlightenment is not something that is out of this world. It's just something mysterious, and you have to be in the cave, and you have to just let go of everything and go to detachment, and you sit there and nothing. I don't want anything. No, enlightenment is alive. It is suddenly the life is beautiful. When you get enlightenment, your life is beautiful. The thing is that enlightenment can be divided into different sections. When we are enlightened, suddenly our emotions are very calm. So if you were frustrated at work or at home, then there are all sort of things which are frustrating you. You want to bang the table. Suddenly you are much more calmer, and the things this vexation that were tormenting you are not so tormenting anymore. You know what I mean? You right away, you are in different plane. Then I remember my biggest issue was my mind. Back in home, life was tough, this political system we had. Oh man. And I went through many tough things, and that's why I had always inner dialogues in my head. Mm-hmm. They did this to me, blah, 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 they did that to me, blah, 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 blah. It was driving me bonkers. It's gone. It's silent.
Those same things are causing other people to be bonkers today. What guidance would you give them today where they can move towards that silence?
Well, that is the techniques. We have the techniques for that. The enlightenment, you need to do some groundwork. You need to sit down. You have to do some techniques. And Master Sha techniques are very efficient. And plus, he offers many very simple, useful tools that are not available anywhere else. So can you wait a second? I'll bring something.
Sure.
Oh. Okay. So for example, Master Sha published these books. And here, and this is book he called Soul Healing Miracles. On the back side, you see this beautiful calligraphy.
Mm-hmm.
This calligraphy is greatest light. Greatest light. So we use this type of calligraphies to get into the condition. Because when we meditate, we need to bring these frequency vibrations. And in the book, there are these beautiful calligraphies. Master Sha was actually so generous, So this is a soul light. This is forgiveness. This one is to open the chakra system. And we practice with these calligraphies. It's very simple. It's much easier to go into this mindfulness state by using calligraphy than sit down and try to get out of this hectic. I just ran from the work. I just had it today. The traffic was awful. And now I have to prepare the report for tomorrow. Man, how I'm going to sit down and meditate. It's almost impossible. Well, you can't. You just get the calligraphy, you work with it. I can teach how it's done. Very simple, very easy, and it works. I've done research on it, so I can say it works.
That's true. You've done almost 10 years of research, haven't you?
Yeah, more than 23 years of research in this. With calligraphy, about 10 years. But we really researched Master Sha system well, and I see that it works. Both how it works on me and how it works on our research subjects.
Amazing. Well, I'm going to, complete, and I want to ask if you would share just a little bit, Dr. Peter, for everybody that's listening. Dr. Peter has agreed to do a 4-hour half-day session on Sunday, December 10th. So put it on your calendar. And the title is Navigating the Enlightenment Journey. And so, when I was chatting with Peter about, the direction I wanted to take with this, I wanted to really reach out to people that were stuck and really wanted to move forward, but didn't know how. And they were awake and they wanted to move through and past blockages. So what kind of a message did you have for anybody that might cause them to say, you know what, I want to come to that?
Yeah, I think that you just put it very beautifully. Myself, I was stuck. I reached the point where self-study no longer worked. I tried and tried and tried, but I was just rehashing the same issue again and again in different colors, very different technique, but it's still the same issue. I just couldn't move on. You don't need to continue. You don't need to continue that. You can try this system. It worked for me. I can't guarantee it will work for you, but just give it a try, give it a shot. And 4 hours is not a huge thing to commit. It's just sitting at home and watching the Zoom. You don't need to travel to Himalayas and go to the cave and see that feet of Guru for another 3 months to get the glimpse of what happened here. Please help me. I am so devoted to do this. No need. You should just open your Zoom and give it a shot, and you will see. I like it. It works for you. Be my guest.
That's such a simple way to put it. You don't need to fly to the Himalayas. You don't need to sit. Have anybody here actually tried to sit on hard rock for even 6 hours? Yeah, my ankles, it's just hard. And that's the path a lot of people have to take. They can't quit their job, go to India just to find the right guru. We have a beautiful soul here that has walked the path already, and we can learn from him. So I invite all of you to, take advantage of this. Put it on your calendar. You can learn more. I put the links in the chat in case you are listening to this in some other form. Go to Wellspring of Light /Enlightenment. Wellspring of Light with a T /Enlightenment, and you will find the page that represents our gathering. And for all those that are veterans that are watching, who do you know that's a friend or a family member that's kind of watching you, and they've moved from you're crazy to wow, you're different, and I'm not sure how it works, but I'm ready to learn more? That person might be ideal for this 4-hour workshop with Dr. Peter Hudoba, where he talks about navigating the enlightenment journey. He will give you the necessary tools to move forward on that journey. So everybody, please give me a big hand. Say thank you to Dr. Peter for joining us. Thank you. I know your time is so very precious. I look forward to seeing you.
I have to go. Soon I'm starting next class. I have a few more minutes. I need to go.
Okay. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
See you. Nice to talk to you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So thank you, everyone, for coming. Again, you can look at the chat. Go to wellspringoflight.com. Wellspringoflight.com /enlightenment is where the information is. This 4-hour workshop is only $55 in Canadian money. So depending on where you're at in the world, it could be a very reasonable cost. And when you're in the field of an enlightened being, as Master Peter is, instantly you're getting a wash, you're getting healing right away. And there are great opportunities because this is the beginning of a pathway that could serve you and the people you care about tremendously. The world is going through some major changes, in case you were unaware of that. And a lot of those major changes affect us. We can be having very, very difficult mental, emotional, physical sufferings, challenges. And I can assure you from my own personal experience that when you understand the tools and techniques that Dr. Peter will share, you will have things available to you that you never had before that will help you to navigate those challenges on those levels that might currently be creating great distress in your life. So I encourage you to follow the links and feel free to reach out to me. I'm Paul at wellspringoflight.com. and I'm happy to serve you. So also for those, again, that are veterans, share this video with all those others that might receive some value from it. So thank you so much. Until next time, have an amazing day. Bye-bye, everyone.